the string. Um, just use a string and model string in your 3D program. So we're going to use Blender for modeling this whole rack, even the string. Uses curves and these little things right here. But we're not going to get into technical difficulties yet. We're just going to make a simple pole right now. We're just going to make a simple pole. And then once we finish testing, we're going to model a realistic pole. So before that, this is a little darker. See how the lights? We adjust that as we go. But right now, we're just going to get the look and the feel of almost like a realistic flag. So let's exit this and let's get the party started. So now let's open up Photoshop. And we got our textures here. Now, okay, step one, step two. That was step one. Step two, we got our textures in our file. So let's pause and get back with you in a few seconds. Oh, let me pause it. Okay, let me pause it. Okay, we back. Now we got our flag inside Photoshop. Now you can still see the boulders in here. These are not boulders. These are the bound points of Photoshop. It's seamless. Actually, this texture is seamless. To tell, you could view it in your picture file library and it's seamless. Nothing but white. Okay, so we could just throw this in, but I usually put bump maps into it to make it more, but actually Flash don't have bump maps, but we're gonna, smooth it out. Okay, this plugin's for free, native no macking filter. Okay, now it must have an update version of it, but this is free. You download it, go to native, type in Google search of this, and get the latest version or the old version. So if you can't follow with this and you don't have the older version, try to find the older versions than the newer version. Okay, we can play with all these stuff. It's 3x3, 5x5, 7x7, and you preview on the fly. And this is a inverts. Okay, this is warp, invert, invert Y, invert Z or Z. You can actually preview this in 3D. And you rotate it just using the left click and preview it. It don't look right, but when you put in your software, it looks right. And you can add, when you 3D view, you can add image occlusion or diffuse texture, detailed textures, and just keep going. You can add brightness. Okay, you can add filters to it. Okay, this all included inside the software. Let's click that. Okay, my settings is 3, an average RPG, or you can just use green. Okay, green works fine. Okay, now if you want these settings, you can have these settings. So I'm just leave it as this, and I'm going to minimize the Z to 6. I scale it to 15. Now, if you don't want to scale it, you can scale it to 6. 6x6 or 3x3. Then you could do this and play with the settings. Okay, and if it's too sharp, go to here, blur it out a little bit. Just blur it out a little bit. Take down the blurriness a little bit. We don't want it too blurred out. Just blur it just a little bit. Smooth it out. About there, that's fine. So as you've done your normal map, you save it as You could save it as, don't save it in this file. Save it as a target or a TIFF. Okay. Unity be fine to recognize that. Okay. And so you let's exit that and let's open. Let's go say open metal texture. Okay, this is a diffuse metal texture. We download it and got these scratches and seams. That's what we wanted. And we could just use normal map and bring out the night noise. Now, if it's too plain, like we could say here, let's press OK. Okay. Now, if you want it like that, but it's not too super detailed, so we're gonna make it detailed. And what I do is I do it by 15 and by 6. Okay, and I just put average, and then this bring it out a little more depth. Okay, if it's too much depth, there's too much depth into the salt in the program. You don't have to have it that way. So let's exit that. I like mine a little more depth, but if you don't want too much depth to it and too brightness, you could bring it scale down. And let's go to Unity, and we have our texture here. Okay, no that, but import it. Okay, and you can change the settings in here. Okay, and you could generate scale matte. Okay, alright, and the scale matte helps you sharpen it and brighten it. Okay, alright. So what this is for external hard drive. So let's show you. Let me show you about the diffuse one. Diffuse one is just texture, and you could generate alpha maps, and you could play alpha maps and apply alpha maps. If you have an alpha map, if you just want a billboard or repeat and wrap around, or you could just add points, tear, repeat, or clamp. You can mess around that. And its compression, leave a temp about 24. That's the highest. I changed that because in Photoshop, and this is what it look like if you zoom in. Okay, you make a material bump matte specular, because specular in metals is shiny. Depends how shiny you want, how bright it is. It depends on your seam. If it's when you do your bitmap and it's white, just change it and click on it and darken up a little bit, because sometimes it'd be too light and it's reflecting too much sunshine. You bring this down or change the color a little bit darker or brighten it up. So we got our flag material. Warp this around. This would look like in Spear. Okay. And this is the other material. Okay, so what I did is we're gonna the same thing over again, and we're gonna go to game component and go to cylinder. Okay, the cylinder don't have any texture to it, so we just gonna apply texture to it. So we go here, drag our material inside our texture. Okay, you can look at it. You can unselect it and just select the terrain. And look how realistic it is. See all the scratches and stuff like that? Look like a real pole. Because real pole's got a whole bunch of scratches and stuff like that, and I want to bring it out a little more. And when you come in deep, you can look at it, and depends on how poly you want it, you know what I'm saying? And you could go ahead and rotate this view